What's up, everybody? I just got back from my trip with Brian Kusko and his family. They kindly had me over for the last few days, kind of as a reset for myself. For those of you that don't know already, I was laid off from my job 2 weeks ago and have just kind of been planning and making moves for the next step of my life and my next chapter as far as my career goes. But yeah, it was a great time just to reset, just to hang out and get to know Brian a little bit better because we've been friends for a while. But this was kind of like a nice trip that me and him got to connect on a deeper level. And so this video that you're going to be watching right now is a fireside chat me and him had on a beautiful beach that Brian showed me, which I can't wait to go back to and just hang out and take in all the scenery. But this trip was exactly what I needed. It kind of helped me get my headspace right, and also with tons of other surprises and support from the community that I didn't think we would be getting, at this time. But for all those, who you are, my Triple B TV family. Just want to say thank you again for everything that you guys did and how big of a help that is for me and my family. So from us to you guys, we love you and thank you. And yeah, disclaimer, autofocus on the tight shot was a little wonky. I was trying to mess with some settings to see if I can get some better performance, but it didn't look like that happened. So next time I now know what I should leave it at. But either way, I hope you guys enjoy this video. I hope you guys enjoy the talk. And again, thank you for all the love and support from everybody out there, and enjoy. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.
Call me Moon Unit.
No, man. Like I said earlier, I appreciate you letting me come out and hang. To kind of go to the point that we made on your video, I just needed a reset, with everything.
Yes, this is my island.
Reset on my island. You come here and you reset. No, so I appreciate you and Hillary just being hospitable and allowing me to come up and relax and be part of the family for a couple days.
Yeah, man. Well, we're glad to have you so far. You haven't messed up anything too bad yet.
I haven't said anything. I haven't beaten the kids too badly at any games. We'll keep it at that.
Yeah. No, it's great, man. I mean, Hillary likes you right from the start, which is a big radar for me. She's kind of my radar in a way, because if it was all up to me, then
you'd be friends with everybody.
We'd have a bunch of homeless people living in our house right now. And they wouldn't be homeless anymore. But we'd also probably have loads of other problems that would affect the family, No, I mean, that I say that a little jokingly, but also kind of not. But so that was a big part. I like you too, don't get me wrong. But the fact that Hillary likes you also makes a big difference.
Usually I've learned to just trust my wife's instincts. And when I do, she's usually right.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. Yes.
Yeah. No, Jamie's the same way. Where usually I always give everybody the benefit of the doubt, but she's like, I have this feeling, and I go, no, you don't know what you're talking about. And then it's been multiple times where she's just like, she's right. So I just, okay, you got a good feeling about it? Sweet, let's roll with it. But no, Hillary was super sweet to me, and it surprised me because it was the first time, like, I really got to hang out with you at Anaheim, and then the first time I really met her, and the fact that she just opened arms, gave me a big old hug, said goodbye. It touched me. Like it was. I think that's when coming into the hobby, coming into the industry, one of those pivotal moments for me where I was like, this is where I want to be. I come, as you know, from a creative background in the professional 3D field, and honestly, I'm just tired of it. There's too much ego. There's too much. Like, I know I can be hard-headed and I can be stubborn, but I don't want to deal with that anymore. Not that like, oh, I want to be the only one with the ego around here. No, I don't want to deal with it because I want just the best for everybody. And so it's like coming into the hobby, and as much of the darker side that I've seen behind doors, there's still a lot of positivity and light, and I think that's what I hold on to and what I want to push towards and help kind of cultivate that as as my tenure in the industry becomes more and more. So
Yeah. Co-cultivation. I like it. Yeah, there's been 3 industries that I've been able to see. Well, not industries, but let's say communities. Some of them tied around industries, which is the music industry, reptile industry, and then now the church. And those are the 3 best that I've found to date. I mean, I've had plenty of jobs where I find coworkers that I'm like really get along with and we have a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as an actual whole group on a much larger scale than just a job, or just people that you end up having to be around because of work, those are the 3 best I've found in my entire life.
yeah,
And I'm not sure exactly what order to put them in right now. I'm gonna go ahead and put music at the bottom. It's because it's wild out there in the music industry. You kind of got everything, and that's another reason I like the reptile industry. You got all walks of life within the reptile industry. You know, the good, the bad, the dark, the light, the high-end professionals, the people that are at a hobbyist level. You got people, especially at the hobbyist level, you got people from all walks of life, from little kids to grown men with great grandchildren, and everybody in between, professionally and like monetary and financially. You got poor people, you got rich people, you got everything. It's like a little slice of all of society, which is something I've always reflected on and saw as cool. It's not something I've seen in most other communities, because it really is a community. Because the music community is there, but you kind of form into more clusters,
cliques,
like we're all in the reggae crowd, or we're playing blues, or I play in a high school band, to take it to at least some slice of society that's outside of a professional musician.
Yeah.
Whereas it's just different with the reptile community.
I think the beauty behind it too is it's like where most other communities are based around, I guess, the artistry, if you want to say that. Like if we're comparing it for music, they're around that artistry of said topics, where this one, it's like, as much as we do have the cliques, like retics, ball python guys and everything, for the most part,
That's true.
it's the animals, and it breaks barriers. Especially when some people start learning about another animal, where at first they were like, I don't want to deal with that, but then like, oh wait, that's freaking cool. Like hearing MJ the other day with geckos. He's like, when I get another room, I'm coming heavy into the gecko game, because he's having more and more of these gecko breeders on, and he's seeing what makes that side tick and where it's kind of going. But it's kind of cool where, it wasn't really on his radar, and I was like, you know what, I want to understand this. And I think that's the beauty of the industry and the community, is like there's all these cool little tidbits that people don't know, and once it hooks them, it really hooks them.
And when you say breaking into the other side, my mind also goes to breaking down people's fears or misunderstandings that are completely outside of reptile world, and breaking them in by helping them overcome a fear, or giving them a little bit of understanding, like, oh no, something as simple as like, the snake's not slimy, it's completely dry.
Yeah.
These little things like that, little tidbits that they might not know, that have them overcome. And that same thing can happen with them, with the hook sinking, like, oh, reptiles are cool and not scary. and it becomes like, I hear that a lot interviewing different people. One of the very common stories is, I've always been to snakes, always caught, animals, always caught reptiles, and like kept them in a little jar at home or something, or, out in the field, always checking them out, or I really loved dinosaurs growing up as a kid. But then there's also a large number of people who had a terrible fear of them.
Yeah.
And then once it flipped, they're like, whoa, I'm all in.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, for us, it was, I'd barely been in this for like a year and a half. And like, I've dove in deep. And I've always liked reptiles. I remember the first time seeing one was an albino berm in like the 2nd or 3rd grade. And I was like, this is freaking cool. But my parents weren't animal people, and so I knew they would never allow me to have anything like that in the house. And as I got older and I had the opportunities to buy a snake, I just never really trusted the people I was able to buy it from. And after I got my first one, and that person had told me, hey, check out Morph Market, like the floodgates opened. And then I was like, okay, cool. Where is this going to take me? What is there out there? What can I buy? But honestly, it's also just learning about the animals, learning about where they come from, trying to properly, you know, build a small ecosystem in a room that's not built for that. You know, it's fascinating. And then on top of that, coming from the art industry and getting into ball pythons first, I was like, this is just living art. Like, the snakes themselves are the paintbrush. Combining them correctly or incorrectly gives you all these different versions and colors and stuff like that. And I just thought that was beautiful. And yeah, it's like I'm completely obsessed. Now we have ball pythons, retics, crested geckos, leopard geckos, a bearded dragon, a jeweled lacerda, and there's still more that I want. And like, I just can't wait till we have a house that I can actually build out like a small facility there, and that be my man cave.
There was a moment I had the other day when I was looking at one of my ball pythons that it kind of took me back. Like, I was able to somehow forget everything that I had learned over the last 7 years and see that snake again for the first time. I don't know what to chalk that up to, but I wish I could do it more often.
Which one was it?
It was the one we were looking at this morning, the red stripe, pinstripe,
Enchi.
spot nose, clown.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And because I remember the first time I started seeing ball python morphs, and I was like, whoa, what is it? It took me back to something like, I don't know what to compare it to. I could think of a few things, but they're not good enough because they're all inanimate objects. But I was thinking of like pogs or like stickers or something that like everyone was different. Like, there was the same platform. Like like pogs was a good one because pogs were all the same shape.
Yeah.
And they looked the same, but what they had on them was different. Which
All
is
the
same
different
with the
patterns and colors.
Ball pythons are relatively still the same shape. You do get some different head shapes coming in depending on the morphs. Like, you know, cinnamon, you get a little more stocky nose or a little more, you know, shorter head, and clowns tend to get really large head boobs. But so there's some slight differences, but for all intents and purposes, it's mostly the same shape snake, which is a beautifully shaped snake for that, because you got like you got wideness on top. If it was really skinny snake, you imagine how like the pattern would be not as applicable or not as successful as a canvas to work on. Because you can kind of see from the top there, it has a different look because it's wide from the top, and it's got a similar height. You know, it's almost as tall as it is wide.
Yeah.
And so you get these different, the way that canvas is, it's because you're talking about it being living art. It's really a canvas, and they're such a great animal for that, because you can hand it off to somebody who thought a snake was a disgusting brown thing, and then
they fall in love with it.
And they can hold it, and it's going to be chill and just hang out, and it's most likely not going to bite them unless it's, you know, it's feeling a certain way.
Yeah, I mean, most of mine are, they're not head shy. I mean, maybe for like one or two, but my girls literally rub their heads all the time. Like, my buddy came over and he's like, that's what I love about your ball pythons. Like, they do not pull away. They just sit there. But
it was what you were saying about having only been a year and a half. First of all, it seems like you've been in it for quite a bit longer. Maybe that's just a mature attitude you have, or something. But you got a certain kind of calm confidence about you that doesn't make you feel new to anything. Like, you could probably try something for the first week, and I would imagine that somebody that was already in that wouldn't think that you were just a first week newbie because of the calm confidence that you seem to exude. That's what I'm recognizing there. But also why it made me think of that was how much I enjoy experiencing things for the first time. Mm-hmm. That's why I was like, I wish I could always go back into that headspace where I've never seen any ball python pattern before and looking at it like, whoa. And that's why I think breeders who chase these new morphs and stuff is like, whoa, I'm looking for that unseen horizon. Like, I wish I could go back to the spot where I've never seen Breaking Bad, so I could watch the whole season again, not know what's happening. That type of thing.
Yeah.
That's where it took me.
Yeah. I think what keeps it fresh for me too is the kids. Like, we literally started this because of our daughters, since we're homeschooling them. And for me, when I find something and I end up getting obsessed with it, I research like no other. And kind of like when it comes to the calmness, like, yeah, it does feel like I've been in this much longer. And I think it's just the way, kind of what we were talking about earlier, and how I've kind of networked my way into the crowd that I would say most people look up to. And not to toot my own horn or anything, but it's because I come in from prior career experiences, having to be an entrepreneur, having a freelance, having a network, and understanding the work and dedication that it takes, that I don't come in trying to slack off or disrespect what other people are doing. I want to come in and be able to represent myself as knowledgeable, respectable, and genuine to anybody.
Well, that comes off, and you're being successful, and you started off by saying thank you for having me here, and it's like I welcomed you coming. I wasn't like, oh, dang it, I got to think about the time Adler's coming. I was like, sweet, like new buddies coming to visit, you know, like, and that's not the same for everybody, and that's just true. I wish I could say that I felt that way towards everybody and that I was that much of a loving, caring person, but I'm just not. Like, if I don't like you, I don't like you, and there's nothing I can do to really change that. It's just like a feeling. People put off their vibes, and sometimes I can just read from people that they just want something from me.
Yeah.
That they're just in it because they see that I built something, they kind of want to bounce off that, which I don't have a problem with inherently, but I don't necessarily want to hang around with that person and form a like friendship with somebody who's looking at me as a way to build themselves off of. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And,
I mean,
and it's okay to want to do that, but not for that to be like the driving reason. You know, like more with you. Like I feel like you just saw somebody doing something that you enjoy and could resonate with on a real level.
Yeah.
And that's what I get from you.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say right now. It's like, for me, I know the benefits being friends with you or somebody like Garrett or anybody else that has a name and reputation in the industry, and as much as that could help me, I just genuinely want to be friends.
Yeah.
Like, because what would jumping into something new be without having people to, one, mentor you, guide you, and just be able to go to, even outside of reptiles, like, hey, because now I still have some of my friends from the art world and some of my friends from college, but I'm finding I'm talking to reptile people more and more and more. So it's like, I don't want to just talk about reptiles the whole time. I want to be like, hey, Brian, how's your day going? Is everything okay? How's Hillary feeling? You know, how are the kids doing? Because I genuinely care. And it's like that relationship stems off to something that, like, if this industry is going to be what it is for me, I want it to be a lifelong journey with great people around me, and that I know I love, and they reciprocate the same emotions back. So.
Amen.
Yeah, man. No, I appreciate it. My butt hurts.
Yeah, well, you know, those things happen.
Yeah.
And you just gotta tough it up and move on to face another day.
So, is there any questions, because I know you're a thinking man, that you'd like to know about me more? We kind of had a little deep conversation earlier.
Yeah. No, I appreciated that. We got into a lot of. No, in a short time, I learned a lot. So.
Which I'm an open book. I honestly, people get my parents and family, they get mad at me that I'm so open. But
do you talk with most people like that?
If I feel like I can, so yes and no.
Okay.
Yes, in a way where if somebody wants to know me, I'm pretty much open with like past experiences, things I've gone through. But as far as like giving my honest and vulnerable self, no, if that makes sense. I don't know if like, so you can tell a story and it's just a story.
Yeah.
But then you can tell a story and give it to somebody and show your true feelings about that story. Like you take off the facade. And so with you, I feel like I'm 100% comfortable that I can trust you with like deepest, darkest secrets, and you won't say it, but most of the stuff I'll tell you anyways, like unless I tell you, like, don't say it, like I don't care if you share it, you know, but I trust you because you're a good character of judgment. And is that the right saying? Character of judgment?
Judgment of character.
Judgment of character.
Good judge of character.
Yes. On just what to do with that information. And I know you respect people's wishes. Like, Like, it was awesome seeing the video with Jay and that clip at the end. Like, that was strong. Like, that definitely, you know, reading the comments and stuff, resonated with a lot of people. I know it resonated with me, especially with recent events happening, because it just reminded me, you know, just look at the positive, see what's out there, see what's unfolding, and, you know, don't always think the dark times or things that happen in life are always going to be there, because it's just a matter of perception. You know, you can get yourself out of it by just slightly tweaking your point of view. So.
Yeah, it's true. It's been a lifelong process to kind of learn that, and as far as like what to keep and what to let go of. But I have found that many people have been comfortable to open up to me in non-surface ways, which is probably a combo of things. I mean, I don't know exactly what to chalk it up to. Other people have told me this. I don't like saying it about myself because it sounds weird to talk about it about myself, but a lot of other people told me that I create like a space where people feel comfortable to talk and share about things that might, you know, be deeper. And
well, you show that you care.
I think that's what it is. I do care, and I don't really care for small talk. I don't
Yeah.
care, like when people are just kind of BSing. I'm kind of like, it's almost like this is almost a waste of time. You know, like I don't care about the superficial stuff. Like we can.
That's why it was initially, because I met you a couple times before we actually hung out at Anaheim, and I helped you with the video work, and before I was on your Patreon. And it was kind of tough to crack you because I know you're introverted. You said that multiple times.
Oh, yeah,
but knowing that you don't like small talk, it's like, how do I approach you and say the right things to get a back and forth going? That was hard. But once, you know, me just genuinely wanting to help, you saw that, and it just kind of unfolded to what it was.
Yeah, somebody genuinely wants to help. That's definitely a big help. But even if you like don't feel like you have anything to offer of help, like even just if you're just genuine, and because that's what it is. I really don't like the small talk. And if somebody's gonna be genuine with me and share that, it's easy to tell, right?
Yeah.
Like at least for me, and probably a lot of other people, subconsciously at least, like you know when somebody's like just kind of being this or being that, or maybe you don't, But for me, it's obvious. It's like, all right, we're at what level we're at. We're at the level of like, this is the face I showed everybody because I'm protecting a lot of the stuff inside, or this is me, and I'm not afraid to show it. And I've always appreciated those people the most. Is like, good. That's all I really wanted. If we're going to have a conversation.
Yeah.
But to your point, as far as not just taking whatever information I get from people and just using it or exploiting it, there have been several interviews I've done where I get the call or the message later saying, hey, could you not put any of that up, please? And I was like, yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
Like, not say no more. Nobody else will ever see that.
Yeah.
And that's happened a few times, which I appreciate more than I mean, I love doing the interviews. I love putting stuff out there for folks, but the fact that somebody got to a point where they shared so much stuff while they knew a camera was recording, to where afterwards they're like, actually, I don't want anybody else to hear that.
Yeah.
Like that makes me feel like good. I want to be able to provide a space where people feel comfortable, because you never know what somebody's go through, and sometimes all somebody needs is somebody to listen to what they're going through to help them get through it.
Yeah.
And if you can provide that space for somebody, I feel like that's a great honor for me to be able to provide
Yeah,
that space.
it makes it special, because it's like, even though you don't get to put it out, you're like, I got to experience that with that person and allow them
to process.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you keep it all inside, that's when you get to those dark places.
Yeah. No, I mean, I have a buddy who's dealing with a lot right now, and I just keep on pushing him, like, hey, don't forget you got support here, like, because he goes into some dark places, and I won't say who it is, but he recently lost his mom and his dad, and within like a month apart from each other.
Yeah, that's tough.
And he also got laid off with me, so it just was a whirlwind. And the dude's extremely talented, extremely knowledgeable, and like, I just don't want to lose a friend like that, because, you know, outside from his talents, like, he's just a genuinely awesome, humble dude that, you know, just wants to be happy, just wants a good life, just wants to work and do all those things. So it's where's my thought going? I lost track. I hate when that happens.
Welcome to the club.
Yeah. But either way, I just, my wife, me, his now girlfriend, just always just try to be there for him and let him know, hey, you're good. Everything's going to be fine. Everything's going to work out well. But yeah, man, no.
There it is. I finally found a spot where I can
You're
lean
like, I
back
can
like
lean
this
back.
without falling off.
No, but this place is gorgeous, dude. Like, I appreciate you taking me to these spots, and this is exactly what I needed. Just kind of like a refresher, get away for a few days. And I wish the family was here. I would have loved for you to finally meet my wife. And I mean, you have, but it was briefly
Very
in
brief.
passing.
The invitation's open.
Yeah. So definitely when Christmas isn't around and we're not worried about cats dying from eating Christmas trees or Christmas decorations, we'll definitely come up all together.
Yeah, you gotta bring the kiddos out here on this beach, man. This is
Oh, they're gonna love it.
oh yeah.
They're gonna.
We'll
love
come. We'll time it so that we know it's gonna be a low tide, a low king tide, and we'll find some octopus and stuff.
it. That's awesome.
No, seeing the sea lions out there, that was cool. Wait, are they seal or sea lions?
Sea lions.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool, man. No. Yeah, we got a Zoom call coming up.
Oh, we do. Yes.
We should be able to make it back in time.
Yeah,
right?
we'll make it back.
Okay.
Yeah. We get Boogie and we'll have time to set up and yeah.
Cool. Anything else?
No, I mean, anybody need an ear? I've got an ear.
Me too. I'm always looking to make friends, help out wherever I can. Patreon's coming soon, so I hope to help some people in there and through there. Is that right?
Yeah, it didn't sound like he was making it up.
No, again, I just appreciate you allowing me to come out and spend time with you guys, and it means a lot. It means more than words can describe. So, thank you, man.
You're welcome. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, no. This sunset's gorgeous.
Oh yeah.
By the way.
Oh yeah. It's a good spot.